Welcome to Saju Mathew Online Safety University.
Hello sir,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine sir.
Very good.
Sir, the other day I attended the examination, model examination of Clover Safety Services Private Limited.
Okay.
Sir, I have few questions regarding the topic work equipments.
Work equipment. Okay. See, we know that what is that one? What is the work equipment? Anything, any device which is easing out your efforts. Which is easing out your efforts. For example, you want to break a rock. You can break the rock by throwing the rock, by hammering the rock. Suppose if you are using a device to hammer that rock or to break that rock, that becomes a work equipment. Correct or not? So work equipment is nothing but any device which is easing out your effort. It is known as work equipment. Okay, what was your doubt about work equipment related part?
Sir, I have few questions.
Please.
So, my first question is, what are the factors to be considered while selecting work equipment?
Yeah. Actually, work equipment are generally different types of work equipment are there. First of all, non-powered handheld tools are there, like a chisel, hammer, screwdriver. Non-powered handheld tools. Then there are portable powered tools are there, cutting tools, grinding tools, etc. There are fixed tools are there, bench-mounted circular saw. Fixed tools are there. Now, while your question is, what are the factors to be considered while selecting work equipment? Very good question. Even it is being asked in the higher level diploma examination, registered safety professional examination. What are the factors to be considered while selecting work equipment? Well, first of all, while selecting work equipment, the design of the equipment should comply with the legal requirement. There are certain guidelines on design of work equipment because manufacturers are supposed to follow certain norms in terms of designing work equipment. So the design must comply with the legal requirement, number one. Number two, the work equipment should have compliance marking such as CE marking, Community European, ISI marking, ANSI marking should be there. The work equipment should have compliance marking. What is the meaning of compliance marking? The design of this equipment meets the minimum safety requirement as guided by the regulatory authority. Clear? So, first of all, the equipment should be designed, in terms of designing, it should comply with the legal requirement. Equipment should have compliance marking. Number two, you have to, while selecting an equipment, make sure that equipment is having compliance marking. Then, equipment must be fit for the purpose and place. For example, fit for the purpose in the sense, if it is for cutting, you have to have the cutting tool. Grinding tool. It should be fit for the purpose. It should be fit for the place also because there are some vapor contained area. Vapor contaminated area, if there is a spark generating equipment is there is a possibility of explosion. So equipment should be fit for the purpose and it should be fit for the place. The equipment should show the information regarding the hazard associated with the work equipment. See, some equipment, it will show this sharp edges like that and hot surfaces like this information should be displayed on equipment. Equipment should have the information on hazard, typical hazard associated with the work equipment. See, on aircraft you can see on the wings, do not step here, step over here. It is written there. Why? Because the hazard information is given. So first of all, while selecting a work equipment, it should comply with the legal requirement. Then the design should comply with the legal requirement first of all. It should be designed for the purpose. Then it should be suitable for the place. And it should have compliance marking. It should have, it should have compliance marking. Then it should have adequate machine guards. Rotating machine should have adequate machine guards. Then the hazard warning signs or hazard warning indication should be displayed on work equipment. Every work equipment should be supplied with handling instructions. Means MSDS, normally with the chemical we provide MSDS. Operator's manual should be here. Operator's manual should be provided with every work equipment. The limitation that operator's manual should include the operating procedure and limitation of work equipment. How to use this equipment, full information. Manufacturer's instructions should be very clear in terms of usage, storage, handling, transportation, etc. So full information regarding the use of the equipment should be given by the manufacturer. These are the basic things. Then equipment should be operated by trained, competent and authorized people only. Equipment should be operated by trained, competent and authorized people only. Then appropriate personal protective equipment should be used. For example, there are certain equipment which creates flying objects. Facial injuries can happen. So face shield is required. Gloves wherever required. So equipment should be operated with the with the appropriate PPE always. Then operating area should be barricaded. So that what happens, many rotating machines, when people are approaching it, there are possibilities of entanglement. To avoid entanglement, the area should be barricaded. Avoid loose clothes while operating, because there are possibilities of loose clothes, ornaments, long hair, etc. can entangle the machine. So avoid loose clothes, ornaments, long hair, etc. while operating. Clear? Then equipment, while you are selecting equipment, the operating area should have adequate illumination. Poor illumination can cause entanglement and contact injuries. So to avoid this equipment area, the operating area should have adequate illumination. Equipment should be defect free. Actually, defective equipment should not be used. Inspect the equipment thoroughly before use and make sure that it is not having any defects at all during the operation. Clear? And adequate supervision is required. While you are selecting an equipment, adequate information, instruction, training and supervision to be given to the people, and without this information, training, instruction and supervision, do not operate the work equipment. Defective equipment should be withdrawn from the service and should not be used anymore, and it should be reported also. These are the factors you have to consider while selecting a work equipment. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So my next question is, what are the mechanical hazards associated with work equipments?
Yeah, what are the mechanical hazards associated with the work equipment? Let me tell you one thing. With every work equipment, there are two types of hazards associated. One is mechanical hazard and non-mechanical hazards. Mechanical hazard will, through two acronyms, you can remember this. Mechanical hazards are CENTIPED, CENTIPED. Once again, mechanical hazards associated with any work equipment. It is a very simple acronym. It can be applied in any situation with any equipment. See, what are every equipment is having two types of hazards, mechanical hazards and non-mechanical hazards. What are the mechanical hazard? Acronym is CENTIPED, CENTIPED. C. Contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps, impact, projection, ejection, discharge. Once again, contact injury, entanglement, CEN, nips, CEN, traps, CEN-T, I, impact, P, projection, ejection and discharge. Contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps, impact, projection, ejection, discharge. CENTIPED. Similarly, non-mechanical hazards are nectar, NECTRE, nectar, noise and vibration, electricity, chemical, temperature, ergonomics or explosion, radiation, nectar. Clear? So, two types of hazards are there, mechanical hazards and non-mechanical hazards. Now, mechanical hazard you understood, contact injuries such as cuts, wounds, abrasion, crushing, piercing, puncturing, shearing, stabbing. Contact injury. See, for example, an unguarded machine. What are the hazards associated with unguarded machine? Contact injury. Contact injuries are cuts, wounds, abrasion, shearing, puncturing, stabbing, contact injury. Then entanglement, tie getting entangled with rotating machine, long hair getting entangled with rotating machine, chain getting entangled with rotating machine, entanglement. Nips, body portion coming to a sharp point, two rotating things are there or one rotating wheel and a stationary position is there, finger is coming in between. That is nips, contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps. What is trapping? Because managed to go inside but unable to come out. You might have heard about rat trap. Rat trap. Rat is able to go inside, it could go inside but unable to come out. That is rat trapping. So some equipment is also like that. While operating, we went inside but unable to come out. That is trapping. So contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps, impact. Impact means hitting. Crane boom. Hit by crane boom is an impact. Clear? Impact. Projection. something is protruding. That is a mechanical hazard. Projection. Ejection. Something is coming out with greater force. That is steam, steam ejection. With high pressure something is ejecting. That's a mechanical hazard. Then discharge. Something is stripping. Suppose overhead pipeline, something is stripping from that with the less pressure. That is discharge. So what are the mechanical hazards? Mechanical hazards are contact injuries such as cuts, wounds, abrasion, crushing, piercing, puncturing, shearing, stabbing, entanglement from loose clothes, ornaments, long hair, etc. Nips on the sharp edges. Nips, contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps. Getting trapped inside means the managed to go inside, unable to come out. Trapping. Then impact, hit by some objects, that is impact. Projection, something is protruding or something is projecting, causing hit. So projection. Ejection, the equipment, the part of the equipment or something is getting ejected, being thrown away from a machine which can hit you and it can cause a flying missile even. Clear? So ejection and discharge, something is stripping, suppose overhead pipeline, the hot oil is stripping from that. That is causing even slipping, tripping, falling, even burn injury can happen. So contact injury, entanglement, nips, traps, impact, projection, ejection, discharge are the mechanical hazards associated with any work equipment. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.